Ah, I see that they finally managed to track you down, my delightful little D class. As you likely already know, my name is Dr. Flair Nolles. At least that's something you should already know after you swiped my ID card. Not exactly a smart move, but regardless... No. I'm not too keen on learning what your name is, my dear. Quite frankly, that is a quick way to get attached, and simply put, you are not going to make it through the rest of the day. So why don't you sit down, be quiet, and let me do the talking? All right? Good. After that little stunt you pulled, I managed to pull some strings myself, favors for favors and all, and was able to get myself access to run some testing with SCP-035, the possessive mask. Now, lucky for you, we do still have an ethics committee here, and they require me to give you at least a little bit of a rundown of what will potentially happen to you. Let you know exactly what you've gotten yourself into. It's not like you can opt out at this point, but information is information, and what's better than the devil you don't know? The one that you do. So, SCP-035, the possessive mask, a little obvious in the name, is visually akin to that of a porcelain comedy mask, although from time to time it can switch to tragedy depending on how it's currently feeling. Yes, feeling. We do have quite a few object class SCPs in containment that are sentient and capable of expressing a wide range of emotions. I'd say you have plenty of time to get used to this sort of phenomenon, but again, the odds of you surviving your little encounter are going to be slim to none, as one of the key features of SCP-035 is the corrosive liquid that is constantly leaking from its eye and mouth holes. Although, interestingly enough, said liquid is only visible from the front of the mask and not the back. And regarding... you're wondering what would possess you to even reach out and touch said liquid, why this would even be an issue for it being an object class SCP and unable to move on its own accord. Well, it is called the possessive mask for a reason, and once you are within a cell with it and get within about, 1.5 to 2 meter range of the mask, you will start to feel this overwhelming urge to put it on. And now you might think that you have a will of steel, that you will quite simply sit there and be able to resist. I assure you, you won't. I've seen much more competent people fall victim to SCP-035 under the assumption that they would simply ignore the call. But let's give you the benefit of the doubt. Let's say that you have some property about yourself that allows you to resist this anomalous pull. Even so, the mask itself is quite charming and charismatic. It might simply convince you to put it on through its sheer delightful personality. I know that I've had quite a few lovely conversations with it. I've also paid quite a few visits to psychiatric evaluation because you're not supposed to be buddy-buddy with SCP-035. It's none of their business who I interact with on my lunch break. But regardless, this sort of pull is also part of the reason that we are required to have psychiatric evaluation professionals available at all times within sites that are containing SCP-035. While it's mostly for the guards' peace of mind, it is important for us researchers as well, as it is to the point that we are not even allowed to get into close contact with SCP-035. I mean, with the information that we have, if one of us was to slip up and put the mask on and get possessed, it wouldn't be too great for the facility to have an experienced researcher running amok with all the information we have. Although in the same breath, it would be quite obvious that something was going wrong if the doctor roaming the halls was constantly dripping and falling apart, which is another intriguing part of the mask itself. Once you put it on, it will snuff out your brainwaves. It effectively makes you brain dead and plays puppet with your body. And due to that lovely corrosive liquid, it will continue to disintegrate you, usually quite rapidly, which is a problem for the host body. At least, as far as we know, it won't be too painful for you. I mean, you'll be brain dead after all. It's not like we can test to see if you are in pain, and we know for a fact that SCP-035 is not. It's simply quite pleased to have host privileges. And with that, it will make as much use of you as possible, allowing your body to continue functioning on long after it reasonably should have given out completely. Well, I hope that this has been informative for you. A good bit of information for you to stew over while we wait for Task Force to bring you in. I will be watching from the wing, happy to see what happens to you. And maybe in your next life, you won't go snatching things that don't belong to you.